Hello there guys, welcome back to the second video tutorial about our game using LibGDX. Okay, so in the previous video we did something like this, right? And we managed to, just make our spaceship move right and left. Now we will try to handle user input and see what we can do. I modified the code a little bit here, but it doesn't affect lots of the code here. Okay, so what are we gonna do is something simple. We will try to detect user input, and based on user input we will move the spaceship left or right. In order to do that, you use if gdx.input is key pressed. Now you want to check this. You write should be gdx.input I think I don't need this one, right? Let me see. Input dot keys dot, these are constants, so if the left key is being pressed, we will set the img position direction equals, we need to set it to the negative value. Okay, so yeah, let me put it like that. Now else if gdx.input is key pressed, and we set this to input dot keys, right, keys dot right. Okay, in that case img position direction equals 1, else img position direction equals 0. That's it. So if the left button is pressed, make the direction negative, otherwise set it to positive if it is the right button. Otherwise set it to 0, which means don't do anything. And because, so the values of this variable are either -1, +1, or 0. So -1 and +1 would result in -3 and +3, and 0 would result in image position variable not changing at all. Let's see this. If we run this now, okay, so now we can press right, I'll press left. You can see we can change this. Very easy, very straightforward. Now this is very nice and all, but usually we want things to be a little bit, more manageable. In the future we will add touch interface, because this game will work on Android, so I want to make sure that when you press something on the user interface it works. So we could do this in one of two ways. Either you add in the middle of this the code to detect mouse input, or it will be better if you make it all independent of the code, and you create a class specifically for handling mouse input. You could later on use it in another project, or at least the code is separated so you can debug in one place and not mess things up. In order to do that, we will change things a little bit. So first I will go and create a class, add a new Java class. I'm gonna call this input management. Okay, so this is our input management class. So it has few members. So public, let's say boolean move left, okay, equals false. There you go. And public boolean move right, also equal false. Now we have public void update status. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this thing very easily. I'll steal the code here, Ctrl+C, because I don't want to type, or you know what, stop the laziness and type it right away. So if is key pressed, and this is gonna be input dot keys dot left. Okay, in that case move left equals true. And by the way, or a better way to express this is to write it like that. So if you are not pressing this button, it will get to false, and that's it, right? So move right equal gdx.input.is key pressed input.keys dot right, semicolon. Very straightforward. So we are getting the values, you know, we just move the code from here to there. Let's go back here. Now what are we gonna do? We will define variable here. It's gonna be input management user input, semicolon. And what am I gonna do here? Something very simple. In the create or the initializer, I'll just say user input equals new input management. There you go. Now what happens here is something very simple. We need first to update the user input. So we say user input, oops, this is going to be user input dot update status. That's it. Now all we have to say is something easier than this. If user input dot move left, move it left. Else if user input dot move right, then move it right. Otherwise, you know, leave things the same as they are. Okay, very straightforward, nothing's happening. We're just initializing the user input, and with each loop or each call to render method, we are just calling the update status, and then we will run the we will change things. So let me run this, and we should get the same output. That's very nice. Now so far we didn't see a useful thing right now, but we will now add a check for mouse interface, or more precisely touch interface. Let's get into that. So I created this button PNG. I am gonna copy this here and go back here. Let me see, these are the assets, and right click in the Android project. You just want to paste it. So it's button, and it has been added. Very nice. Now let's go to this guy, and in the initialization part, I will, make it prepare the texture for the button. Okay, so public void init initialization. By the way, this is going to be public texture button semicolon. Yeah, so here button this dot button equals a new texture, and this is going to be, I need to pass the name, so it's going to be button.png semicolon. Just to test this, we need to set on initialize. So in the constructor, after we create the object, I will just say user input dot initialize. Okay, so let's see and make sure that it works. Okay, nothing happens, so I suppose it worked. Now we want to place a button for the left touch. Okay, so here I will add a method to render these buttons. So public void render buttons, very straightforward. And what we need to see here is that sorry, is that when we want to draw an image, we pass we are using this batch, right? So we are passing this batch, and batch is basically a sprite batch. So let's go here. So this is gonna receive a sprite batch. Okay, so sb dot draw. I will pass what? I will pass the image, which is in this case this dot button. I will put it at location 0, 0, 0. Yeah, so let's go back to our game. So now in our game we are gonna draw, you know, the spaceship, and then user input dot render button. I will pass the batch object. There you go. Okay, so if I run this, let's see. Okay, so we can see our button here. Very nice. Okay, but you know, so far we don't know, you know, how to get the mouse or the thumb touch on that button. So in order to make things a little bit easier for ourselves, we will just, you know, set few variables to tell us where this button is in order to check it in the future. So here I'm gonna say public mouse x1. This is gonna be int mouse x1, public int mouse x2, and then public int mouse y1, and public int mouse y2, semicolon. And in the initialization part, I'm gonna say mouse x1 equals I'll make it 10, okay, and mouse x2 equals, now it need to be mouse x1 plus this dot button get width, right? No, I want to get the width of the button itself. And we have also what? We have mouse y1 equal make it 50, for example. Okay, mouse y2 equal mouse y1 plus this dot button get height, semicolon. Now in the part where we render things, I would just say mouse x1, this is gonna be mouse x2, sorry, mouse y1 followed by this dot button get width, this dot get button get height. There you go. Let's see what this did in our case. So if we run this now, okay, so we changed the location of the button. Maybe we need to move it a little bit higher. All we have to do is make this, let's say 100, and see. Okay, so now, you know, this is the red button. It's a little bit high, but so far we didn't detect user input on that. So now we will detect it. Okay, so how do we do that? In the update status part, check the keyboard. Yeah, and yeah, here check the mouse. Okay, so now if first we need to check that the left mouse button has been pressed. Sorry. Okay, so what we need to do, if input, wait a second, GDX dot input dot is button pressed. There is key pressed is about keyboard. Is button pressed supposed to be about the mouse, and this is gonna be input dot button, right? buttons dot left. Okay, so to test this first, I will just say, you know, move right equals true. Okay, so I will just, you know, make it that when I click mouse on the screen, it will move to the right. You can see now. If you can hear the mouse, you know, every time I press the mouse, it moves to the right. Now, we don't want this to happen. We want to make sure that the click happened in the area of the button. For this very reason, let's see, it should be something gdx.input.get. Let me see. Delta input navigation bit text input get x, I suppose. Let me see, is there a help to that? I think get x. Okay, so int x equals, yeah, and int y equals gdx dot input get y. Okay, so now if x is greater than or equal mouse x1 and x is smaller than or equal mouse x2 and y is greater than or equal mouse y1 and y smaller than or equal wait a second, y smaller than or equal mouse y2, at that very case, this button for the left, right? So move left equals true. Okay, so let's see. I'll move it to the right first, and now let's see. Click, click, click. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work. Yeah, not sure. Let's see. I'll put a breakpoint in here and see what am I getting. So I'll stop this and go with this guy for debugging now. Wait a second, let me press debug. Okay, so here, okay. Didn't I check this a little bit, you know, a while ago? This is weird. This button pressed, so it should stop here. Okay, let me see. I'll just change this here. So if I press the left mouse button, it should move to the left right away without any checking or whatever. Okay, so I'll just stop this. Okay, just to make sure that it is, you know, it is detecting the left mouse button. Oops. Yeah, this is weird. Oh, what's happening? Okay, let me see on this. Okay, so it is detecting. Okay, so now I will go with debug mode. I will remove this. I will save the project. And now I will debug things. Okay, click. This as if it doesn't detect things or what? Oh, the breakpoint's not being hit. This is very weird. Why is that? Oh, let me see. Run debug. Wait a second. Debug desktop application, go. Click here. What? This is very weird. Okay, let me see. Stop this. Close this window. I'll just say here, move right equals true. Okay, whatever. So if I click, regardless of the position, you know, just I want to make sure that the code get executed, but the breakpoint is not stopping, you know, the IDE does not stop at the breakpoint. Let's see. So here, debug again. Okay, so it seemed that, you know, this was not working properly. Anyway, so I cannot check, you know, debug this for some reason. This makes no sense whatsoever. Regardless, we are detecting the mouse down event, but we are not able to get, I think, the correct coordinates. Let's see. So is there a help for this? Right, so gdx.input.getX. Now, what do we have here? Let's see what kind of gets do we have. Accelerometer, delta x, delta y. Yeah, it seems reasonably that this is what I need. Let's get x, get y. Okay, let's search the net for this and see what it is getting us. Right, Control C. Oh, I think I got it. I think I know why it's not working well. Let's see. Just a second, please. Come on, okay. So now not working, right? So I'll move it right here. Oops. Sorry about that. Move it right here. Oh, come on. Don't fail me, please. Okay. It just failed me. Yeah. I'm pressing the mouse. Okay, so maybe I need to check the documentation for this one. So I'll get this one and see what this returns. Copy. Okay. So here, paste and search. Input. So here, so I'm sitting with phone with blah blah blah. I get coordinate from get x, the highest number I get when touching the screen. Left is around 780 and about blah blah blah. Game height. Oh, is this accurate format? Oh, does it get me the result, the reverse value? This is weird. Let's see. Probably it's getting me the reverse. Come on, dude. Okay. So I think there's a better way to do it. I will make a little bit of a cheat right now, okay, in order to debug, because this one is not returning what I need from it. So let's see. I'm gonna say here sb.draw string draw. Let's see. Okay, I might need to draw things on the screen. Okay, so for now I might stop the tutorial because I don't want it to, you know, take too long. But let's say here to do fix button or fix mouse coordinates problem. This we will be handling tomorrow, okay, in order to you know, fix the mouse click and touch user interface. Hopefully things will go well. One last thing I will try to do, let me see, should I run this on Android? I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe I'll do it later on. I don't want to waste your time right now. Okay, so tomorrow we will address the coordinates problem and see how to solve this. Okay, that will be all for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.